Ever since the Flyers drafted Porter Martone with the 6th overall pick in the draft a few weeks back, Flyerland has been talking about where he'll play hockey next year. Will he make the Flyers team out of training camp? Is he going to jump to college? If he does, what if he ends up at Penn State with Gavin McKenna? There's no way he'd go back to the OHL, right? Well, it seems those questions have been answered. Elliot Friedman broke the news this morning, tweeting, "We should get confirmation later today, but there is word that Porter Martone will be going to Michigan State." Committing to the NCAA route has some fallout that we need to make sense of, so let's start with fit. Martone played the last 3 seasons in the OHL, scoring 71 points in 60 games 2 seasons ago, and 98 points in 57 games this past season. It's safe to say that Martone proved everything he needs to in the OHL. And thanks to the new CHL-NCAA agreement, he'll be moving up a level by going into college this year. And if you ask me, it's the best choice for him and his development. Sure, it might be disappointing for Martone and Flyer fans, but Martone is at the point in his development where he needs to get stronger and learn how to play against older and more mature competition. College is perfect for that, because compared to the OHL, where they play 68 games in their regular season, college doesn't allow teams to play more than 34 games in theirs. Plus, college teams mostly play on the weekends, which gives Martone the chance to spend a lot of time during the week in the gym, bulking up and getting stronger. And no, the NHL would not afford him that opportunity. It's an 82-game grind. Sure, he'd be competing against men and the best competition there is, but college affords him the ideal blend of tougher competition with a lot of time off between games to bulk up and continue developing his game. It also helps avoid an awkward development situation. I'm sure Martone would have preferred to go to the Flyers training camp in September and see if he could make the team. But that option would have led to a lot of opportunities for a year of stagnant development. Let's look at a couple possibilities if Martone did go to Flyers training camp so we could walk through some of those pitfalls. First possibility, Martone goes to camp, he looks okay but ultimately doesn't make the team. As long as he doesn't sign an entry-level contract with the Flyers during that time, he can still go to Michigan State at this point. But if that happened, he would have already missed all of Michigan State's camp and probably a game or two, which is not a great situation to walk into. Second possibility, let's say Martone does what Luchenko did last year. He stays the entirety of training camp, he makes the team, and he plays a couple NHL games. But they realize he's not ready for a full NHL season. In this scenario, he has to sign an ELC with the Flyers, and doing that makes him immediately ineligible to play in college anymore. So now, he has to go back to the OHL and play in a league that he's already proved he's way better than. Not a great way to further his development. Is there a possibility that he could have made the Flyers team and done decent enough over the course of a season? Sure, but it's far from a certainty. And at this point for Martone, he probably needs more of a finishing option or finishing school before turning pro. As for Michigan State as the destination, it seems like a great spot. Yes, Gavin McKenna, the number 1 pick in next year's draft, he committed to Penn State, and that was a serious option for Martone and not too far from Philly. But Michigan State has long been a quality hockey program, and the roster for this upcoming year is loaded with players already drafted by NHL teams, including one of the Flyers' other draft picks from a few weeks ago, Shane Van Saage. We've learned these past few years that Briere and assistant general manager Brent Flair like when their prospects are in a system that they can trust. And it seems pretty clear that they have some level of trust in this Michigan State staff. Because on top of Van Saage and Martone being there next year, the Flyers recently signed college free agent Carson Dorwart from Michigan State back in March. At Michigan State, Martone is going to have a golden opportunity because one of their top-line wingers, Ike Howard, recently signed with Edmonton, leaving a top-line wing spot that's perfect for Martone to fill. With a Michigan State team featuring Martone and Van Saage, they're going to be must-watch for Flyers fans. To put a bow on things, there's nothing to dislike about this decision, and there is nothing to worry about. And that's the bottom line because BSH said so. It's off.